again, I won't give away the full niche, but one thing that I'll say that is very, very difficult and unique about this niche is that I have to give a physical, like printed product. It has to be physically printed for a variety of reasons. So I basically have to create that, which is kind of tough because, you'd much rather do digital. I can create some digital, and I'm trying to think of ways to do digital because it's so much easier to deliver that type of thing. But that's one of the hurdles that we're dealing with, and I knew that going into it. But yeah, in general, I do have an email list that I have created. A lot of people say, create your email list from day one and this, that, and the other. I actually, I used to believe in that notion. Now, personally, I don't. Just because especially if you're writing for yourself, it is draining to write all your own content. And that takes time, and that takes a lot of patience and a lot of hard work to do that. So to distract yourself with email lists and things in the beginning, I don't personally think it's worth it. I usually say when I'm hitting around 100 traffic a day, that's when I'm looking at email marketing to just create the list. I'm just trying to get, people to sign up for a list. I will say a helpful fun fact. One of the best things that you can use for an opt-in that I found is to just create a Facebook community and just say, hey, if you want to join the Facebook community, we need you to put in your email, your email info so that, we can validate you or validate who you are and that sort of thing. And people are excited to do, well, I don't know why I'm excited to do it, but people will do that. So that's been a great way for me to build my list, is to just kind of focus on the aspect of, hey, we're a community, we want you to be a part of it. But I started that. That's kind of the opt-in or the hook that I use to get people in there. Again, my website is pretty unique. So there's a big segmentation part of my website to determine time intervals of certain, it's so hard to even explain this, but basically I've segmented my list by certain time intervals. So if something's going to happen within 6 months, if it's going to happen, 6 to 12 months, if it's going to happen 12 months to 24 months, to try to segment my audience that way. And that's been an interesting exercise, something I didn't do. I use ActiveCampaign to do it. Basically, I send an email, I think it's like the third or fourth email, and I'm like, hey, click the one that's most relevant to you. After they click, it'll then add a tag to that record of that contact. And then that's really nice because in this instance, I'm not able to sell the things that I could sell to the 6 months or within 6 months that I could sell to somebody who's going to be with, 2 to 3 years. I can't mix those. So it's really just a bunch of different kind of roads, I guess you could say, that I have to go down with monetization. And within 6 months, I can do this. Within, 7 to 12 months, I could do this. So the monetization is difficult. My first focus is going to be within the 6 months to try to make some info products for that. Definitely the most relevant, definitely going to be the easiest to do. And then I'll, over time, understanding my audience, and I do send, the second email I send to them is, hey, what do you need help with? And I don't, a lot of people don't do that email. I do it because I want people to reply back, talk to me. I want to understand them more. Kind of get engaged from my audience. And over time, probably 3-4 months from now, I'll probably remove that email once I have a much better idea, because it takes time to reply to all those emails. So that's how I've done it in the past. So.
And just a quick breakdown for people that maybe got lost in the time periods, the intervals and all that stuff. It would be the same as like if you went to Ron's site, 1 Hour Professor, which you should. And I don't know what you do, so this is just a pure example. But if you went to Ron's site, and then you signed up for his list and he had like a little survey, like, are you interested in entrepreneurship? Are you interested in affiliate marketing? Are you interested in display ad websites? Then you'd be placed into the segment so that you would get content which is relevant to whatever your interest is.
Yeah. So it's just making it so that the content is better for that person, every specific, because too many times, and when you're starting out, it's fine. But, over time you realize that your audience or your website doesn't really just have one audience most of the time. It could be like, let's say you had a psychology website. There could be, people there that are 16 years old, 18 years old, and then there's people there that are 40 years old with 2 kids, So you kind of have to understand that, and you have to find a way to segment those audiences to appropriately sell to them, to appropriately give them the right information. So that's, your example is perfect though. That's exactly what,